corporate office. This is Rebecca.
Hi, ma'am. How easily or readily available is Mr. Danny Wegmans to listen to a situation as a customer that I'm going through?
Not at all. Have you spoken with Consumer Affairs?
I have, and that's actually the problem, is that they're not being too understanding of my situation.
What's your situation?
Food poisoning. I ate.
In what way are you saying they're not being understanding? Because I would think that would be something that they would jump all over if it was warranted.
Well, their idea of jumping all over it is to offer a customer a $100 gift card. That basically, I've been sick the whole weekend. I bought a pizza and wing combo at the Wegmans location in Pittsford, and the chicken was basically undercooked, raw. And after being bounced around from manager to manager, including Mr. Dan Carr at the Pittsford Wegmans, perishable foods manager there, who I sent him pictures immediately that evening. He never got back to me. Then I've gotten kind of like a runaround from the Consumer Affairs Department. Now, with all respect, and I don't mean to be a jerk about this, but you didn't hesitate to say he's not available at all. Does he care about situations like this that go on?
He does, but this is something that would be handled by Consumer Affairs. Okay. Who did you speak with in Consumer Affairs?
A wide area of women, starting with Martha to Michelle.
Can I ask you then, what did they ask you?
Well, they asked me.
They offered you a gift card. How did they get to that point?
Well, it's funny. She said that you can't. She asked me what I would like done, and I said it's hard for me to say because it's not something that obviously you can put a price on. And she said, no, you can't put a price on it. Then she immediately turned around and said, how about a $100 gift card? So obviously there is a price, and the price is, in other words, the price for being violently ill over the weekend, throwing up.
What do you think would merit being violently ill all weekend?
What do I think would merit it?
Yeah, what do you think would be adequate compensation for that?
I really don't have the answer to that. It's not even the money. It's the way that it's been handled. And by the way, in the defense of Miss Mary Jones Stryker, she left me a message up and down apologizing for the way that, in her words, this situation has been inappropriately handled
Have you spoken with Mary Jones?
From the get-go. I have. I'm just not satisfied with. In life, there's something that becomes the principle more than the money. The money's not going to take away that my weekend, basically, I spent hunched over a toilet seat throwing up. So it's not that. It's almost, and that's why I asked for Mr. Wegmans, which is probably like, of course, he seems like he's untouchable. But the reason I asked for that is because there's certain things that are more important than money, such as a company making a customer feel appreciated. Like, wait a minute, we actually care about this, and that's not how I feel.
Mary Jo's apology was not enough. That you wanted an apology from Danny.
I would love. Well, I'm not calling for an apology, but I would love that if that's the case. I mean, I'm turning to you, and I'm sorry that I'm venting to you because I understand that at this point I am venting to you. This is in no way your fault. I realize you're just doing your job, but. I'll be honest. I don't know exactly what I want. I guess I'm putting it in your lap, for lack of a.
At this point, we're going to leave it at the $100 gift card. But if you would like an apology from somebody higher than Mary Jones Stryker, I can put you in touch with her boss, Mary Ellen Burris.
Okay, but you're real adamant about leaving it at that status, then, right? Can I ask you why?
Because that's all they're willing to offer you. There must be a reason. I think $100 is very generous offer, but I don't know. You don't know what you want, or you can't seem to. All you want is an apology. I understand that, but that would come from Mary Jones' boss.
So let me ask you a question. You said you used the word generous, and I'm very much into when people speak, basically flipping.
You used the word what?
I said I'm very much into when someone says a word. I like to make them conscious of the word they use. You used, ma'am, a word which is very generous offer. You believe that if it was you with diarrhea and vomiting all weekend, or one of your loved ones, you believe that not only the fact that I purchased raw chicken, but then subsequently the way that they handled it from the customer service standpoint at the store, you believe that $100 would be quote unquote very generous? Is that what you're saying?
Would you like to leave your name and number, and I can have the store manager call you back?
But I'm asking you, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
How do you arrive at that being very generous? If it was you going through it or your loved one, that would be very generous for you?
Can I have your name?
Would that be very generous, ma'am?
I already said yes. May I have your name?
Can you explain how that would be generous?
I'm not going to explain anything. Can I have your name?
What is your name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca what?
Blessing.
Okay, and your position there?
I'm Colleen Wegman's assistant.
Okay, how do you spell your last name?
Why?
You spell it with a Y?
No, I want to know why you want to know the spelling of my last name.
Because I'm speaking to you and you're a Wegmans representative. I want to know who I'm speaking to.
Actually, Consumer Affairs is. You called Danny's office, and I'm trying to determine where your situation can best be handled, and you don't want my help. So, if you'd like to leave your name, I can have the store manager and or Mary Ellen Burris' office call you back.
Ma'am, I'm just asking. I don't know why it's a problem to know your name. You work for Wegmans, and I'm speaking to you about my incident. I mean, you can't give me your name?
How about you give me your name?
Absolutely. It's David. The last name is V as in Victor, V-A-R-A, Vara.
And a phone number where you can be reached?
Now, can I have your name now?
Sure, Rebecca Blessing.
How do you spell the last name?
L-E, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, I-N-G.
Lessing. Okay, my number is 585-474-2316.
Okay, would it be okay if I had somebody from Consumer Affairs from Mary Ellen's office call you and or the store manager from Pittsford?
As long as it's not Dan Carr, who completely blew me off and lied to me saying that he would call me back immediately Friday night when I emailed him up to 5 pictures of raw chicken, then I'm fine with that. And as long as it's not Miss Mary Jones Stryker, then I'm also fine with that.
Okay.
I've talked to her already, so I'm not going to continue to spin my wheels.
Okay.
Is there?
When I asked him to call you back, you're looking for an apology. Am I correct?
Is there an email where I could send you? I'm a journalist here in Rochester. Is there an email where I could send you, or not you personally maybe, but someone a link to my blog?
Sure, you could send it to Mary Jones.
To Mary Jones Stryker?
Sure.
How about somebody above her? I thought you mentioned someone earlier.
Mary Ellen Burris. She's the head of Consumer Affairs.
Yeah, I know who Miss Barry's is. She's the one that's on all the advertising and stuff. I know who she is. Does she have an email?
She does.
Okay, can I have that, please?
Sure. It's her name, Mary Ellen, all one word.
Mary Ellen, 2 L's, obviously, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Dot Burris, B as in boy.
R-R-I-S. I'm sorry, B-U-R-R-I-S.
Yep, at Wegmans.com.
At Wegmans.com. Okay, what do you do with my complaint at this point?
I'm actually going to email Mary Jones and the store manager, Haley Johnston.
Okay, how do you spell that name, Haley?
Haley?
Oh, Kaylee, I'm sorry.
No, Haley. It's H.
Okay, I was right then, Haley.
Oh, yep. H-A.
Okay.
L-L-I-E. Johnston.
Johnston, yep, with a T-O-N.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you have my number already, so.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And it's David Vera, correct? Vera.
You pronounce it exactly. Yep, you pronounce it exactly right, Rivera.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, bye-bye.